Hi everyone, Mark here at Marathon Press. This tutorial is to help you understand how to order a Bella art album using Marathon Rose. And before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my friend Chris Fritchie and fellow professional photographer for providing such beautiful images for me to use on the pages for our samples. Be sure and check out his website. He's got a great page there also for photographers. He teaches workshops, has great education, and does speaking all over the country. So be sure and check that out. Now, one thing I want to mention before we also get started is in order to order your album, you have to have your pages pre-made before going into Rose. Now, if you're using Fundy or some other source like that, great. But if you're not, the easiest, fastest way is to just probably use Photoshop and create your pages that way. So let's give an example of if you're ordering a 10 by 10 album, that requires a 10 by 20 page, but you want to make the page a little bit bigger. It needs to have what they call bleed lines, or I should say bleed. And with that, you're going to want to make the page 10 1/4 by 20 1/4. And so with any album you order, you want to make it about 1/4 of an inch bigger on both sides, on both lengths, height and width. And what that allows for is when Marathon trims the book, you always cut a little bit off, so you have to leave room for that. So that's why you want to leave that what they call a bleed. Now this particular image that I'm showing you here shows not only the bleed, but also if you're going to leave borders, you want to make sure that you leave a fair amount of white or whatever color mat you're going to have behind that, because if you don't, this area up here, if you've got a very thin line, because of the way the trimmers are and that cut these books, they can be off just a little bit. And if your line's pretty thin, it's going to make your borders look uneven just because it's not 100% accurate. So you always want to leave a little bit extra space. So that's what this guide is for. And this is available in your downloadable templates that are in Rose as well. So if you're not sure, this is in there. If you're still not sure where to find it, just give Marathon Press a call and we can help you with that at 800-228-0629, and we'll be happy to get that to you. All right. The other thing you're going to want to do is create a cover if you're not doing a photo for your cover for the front or back or both, then you don't have to worry about this. But if you do plan to use a photo for your cover, you're going to need this template as a guide. And the area that you're seeing here in the gray, that's what's going to be visible. And the pink area is what they call the wrap. So let's take a for instance here. This is my front cover image that's on here. And you'll notice if I turn off the template guide for the cover, you'll see how much area there is there that's covered by the image itself. So you need to leave that much area to cover that pink in that template. Now you'll also find in the template guide there's the back cover. So I've got my image in here too, and I can turn off my front cover guide. So here's my back cover, and you'll notice it's all lined up, and you can move this around obviously before. And once you've got the cover the way you need it, and you've got your pink areas covered as well with whatever it might be, then all you have to do is flatten your file. Just make sure your template is turned off, otherwise when Marathon receives it, it's going to show that, and you don't want that to show. Now, one thing to keep in mind too, and I'm going to go back to the front cover, that if you've got a lot of decoration or a lot of detail showing, and I'm going to go back here, this area that is the visible area, just know that when they make this, it's not going to be an exact edge there that they go by. So you have to leave a little bit of room. So again, make sure that you don't leave a border or something that's going to be critical, because it's going to be very hard to get it exactly perfect. So an image like this is ideal because it's got some of this color around for them to create that particular album cover. And again, just turn that off when you're ready and flatten your file and save it. and then do the same for the back cover. Just turn that part off and flatten it, save it. So now you're ready to go. So let's go ahead and open up Rose, and I've got this already. I'm already logged in, but if you're not logged in, it's easy to do, just right here. And on your splash page, there's two ways to access the album. You can do the shortcut on the home page, or you can go up here to products. And the first thing I want to do is look for my Bella Art albums, and you'll see you can do the drop down. I'm already there, but there's different albums, and you want to make sure that you're looking for the correct one. And in this case, we're doing Bella albums. Here's your different sizes, and you can hold down this left click button and it will give you a quick access to all the different sizes as well. Now in my case, I'm going to do a 10 by 10 for this example. So now I'm in the 10 by 10, and I'm going to click on step 1, and it's important that you stay in these steps in order. So step 1, and it's going to give you a choice of Pro Photo Paper, which is like traditional photo paper. The second is the Pearl. The third is your watercolor, and the fourth is a linen choice. So I tend to love the Pearl for a lot of different reasons, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. So now all I have to do is access my images to pull into here. Now you can do that one of two ways. You can click on the button here, and that'll give you the ability to add. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And I can go to my desktop, and I can go that route. But I'm going to show you a shortcut here that you can do too. Let me get rid of that, and I can do my Rose order right over here. I'm going to move this over so I can get that. And all you have to do is drag and drop this in here. And you'll find that it populates through what they call a proxy. Those are the images, so it's not actually working with the high-res file. So know that whatever you see within the screen here, if it doesn't look like real sharp, don't panic. It's just the proxy of the image, but your high-res files is what it will pull from once it orders. Now you'll see my first couple of images here are for the cover images, but it helps, kind of a trick here too, it helps to name your files in the order that you want the pages in. And remember that you're working with kind of a panoramic type album with the lay flat book, so some people name theirs a file that might be page 1, page 2, or panoramic 1, panoramic 2, whatever. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and start by just clicking and holding that down and dragging it up, and there I've got my first page in there. Now you can go in and adjust the zoom or the crop or whatever, the angle, all of these, that's your tool down there. But this is ready to go, so I'm just going with full frame, and you just go down to add to order, and then you just repeat that. You go down to your page 2. I'm going to go up here, drag that in there, and add to order. Page 3, add to order. Page 4, drag that up, add to order. And you just keep repeating that. Now I'm going to go ahead and just add all mine in here so that we've got this. There we go. Add to order. Add to order. Add to order. And the other great thing too, as you do this, you'll see a little cart icon come up on each page that you've done. So you never really, have to wonder, did I order that or didn't I? Sometimes you get interrupted while you're doing something. So let's say a phone call came in, had to walk away, and I come back and I think, geez, did I place that in my cart or not? Well, I can see here that I didn't. So I'm going to hit add to order, and then I'm going to finish up with the last few here. Now another shortcut that you can do is you can just select add to order. You can select all of these I'm just going to scroll clear over. That might be it. So I've got those in the cart. Add to order. Add to order. And add to order. Okay, now they're all in there. So all I have to do is go to View Cart. And I'm looking at these and I'm checking to make sure, everything is the way I want it and everything seems to be in the order that I want it. And if for some reason something looks out of order, I can say, oh, you know what? I need to switch this page up ahead of that one. So all you have to do is click and hold and drag these and move these around if that's the case. Or if you want to delete a page, you can just go right here, click delete, and it'll remove. And then if I want to edit, I can go to edit. It'll take me back to the book. And let's say I wanted to do a crazy crop on this. And for whatever reason, I'm not going to do that on this one. But let's say this is what I wanted. Then I can just hit save, and it'll save it to that crop. So then I just come over here to options. I approve my order. Oh, I forgot. I need to go back and finish step 2 to order the cover. So now I'm going to click on my cover, and it brings up my choices of different colors and different options for foil color if I want to have imprinting on this. So we'll get into that in our next video.